Hi, my name is Colby Majors. I am from Roy, Utah, and this is my story of how I found grace through our Savior Jesus Christ. It was about 2004 when I started experiencing depressive thoughts and anxiety. I was in the MTC, and of course, when you are away from family, you are myself. I started experiencing separation anxiety, but not quite sure what it was. And I got sick while in the MTC, but after 2 months, I left to go serve in the field. I waited 2 months in North Carolina, and after those 2 months, I did go to where I was called, which was in Venezuela. I'm a convert to the church, and so this was my first experience being away from family for that length of time. It was about 10 months later when I got sick again, but this time it was a lot worse than before. I came home early, and of course coming home early, it causes more anxiety. And at that time I went to doctors to see what was going on, to see why I was experiencing what I was experiencing, not quite sure how to manage those feelings and physical feelings, mental thoughts. So I met with the doctor and was diagnosed with anxiety depression. Since that time, I have experienced really dark, depressive moments in my life. I wasn't quite sure how to handle it, so my life was controlled by anxiety and the depression. There have been times where I've had suicidal ideations, and throughout coming home from a mission and now, currently, I've seen several different therapists, mainly therapists through LDS Family Services, and I've been able to really voice what I was experiencing, knowing that I had that therapy through a spiritual sense. I have been able to be open about my story and have found strength in sharing my story through social media platforms and through talking with friends, talking with bishops, talking with members of my ward, with my family. When I have met with LDS counselors, it was reassuring to have them validate what I was experiencing, the mental health aspect of my life, and those issues that came with it, and being reminded of who I am, and being reminded that I have a purpose here in life, and I have the ability to call upon my Savior and rely upon His atoning sacrifice. I have a friend who has recently returned from a mission, and he wrote home, and his mom shared his email to his friends and family, and he said in his email that really resonated with me. He said that when we hit rock bottom, Christ is the rock at that bottom. And that validated knowing that I'm struggling. I still deal with anxiety, depression every day, but reminding myself that Christ is the rock. Christ is that strength that I have been able to draw from. I constantly have to remind myself that I'm human. I have experienced these things for quite an amount of time, over 15 years almost. There are days where it's worse than others, but then there are days where I feel I can accomplish anything through my Savior. And knowing that He is there for me, knowing that when I turn to the Scriptures or when I kneel in prayer, that He's listening, and that has helped really. That has helped me to take the time to be aware of what I'm experiencing and know that I have my Savior to help me through that. I know He lives, and I know that He is there for me. And thank you for listening.